Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Oh. We are starting Bhagavad Gita studies. And before entering into Srimad Bhagavad Gita, now we are discussing some shlokas of invocation. This is known as Gita Dhyanam, meditation on Gita, Dhyanam on Gita. And it will definitely help us to focus our mind and intellect. It gives clear answers to many queries connected with Bhagavad Gita. So it will make us fit to learn Bhagavad Gita. So far we have seen the first shloka. It was a pledge to follow Bhagavad Gita in our life. Ambatvam anusandadhami. Oh mother, I am following you. I am following you. That means I am studying Bhagavad Gita and I am trying to practice in my life. That is following. So now after discussing the first shloka, we are going to the second shloka. And that is Namostu te vyasa vishala buddhe bhullara vindayata patra netra yena tvaya bharada taila purnaha prajwalito jnanamaya pradeepaha. Let us see once more. Namostu te vyasa vishala buddhe bhullara vindayata patra netra yena tvaya bharada taila purnaha prajwalito jnanamaya pradeepaha. First we can break the words there. Namaha astu. Vyasa, Vishala Buddhe, Bhullara Vindayata Patra Netra. That is one word. Bhullara Vindayata Patra Netra.
Jo, nesuprantu, blemba, žinok, apie ką tu čia kalbėti, atsiprašau.
Yena.
O tu čia, blemba, kalbi su šik.
Tvaya Bharada Taila Purnaha Prajwalitaha Jnanamayaha Pradipaha. So here, in the first shloka, we undertook a pledge to follow Bhagavad Gita. And now in this shloka, we are saluting Vedavyasa. We are prostrating before Vedavyasa. Namostute Vyasa. Namostute. Namaha means prostrations. Astu means let it happen. Astu, let it happen. Te, unto you. Te, unto you. Vyasa, O Vyasa. Vishala Buddhe, of unlimited intelligence. Of unlimited intelligence. Vishala Buddhe. Bhullara Vindayata Patra Netra. O one whose eyes are just like a fully bloomed lotus. Yena, by whom? Tvaya, by you. Bharada Taila Purnaha, filled with the oil, that is Mahabharata. Jnanamayaha, full of wisdom. Pradipaha, lamp or light. Prajwalitaha, was lighted. So here we are prostrating before Bhagavan Vedavyasa. How we are prostrating? We are calling him, Hey Vyasa, Te Namaha Astu. Unto you I am saluting or I am prostrating. That is the meaning. Even though that is not the verbal meaning. Verbal meaning is my prostrations be happen in front of you. That is the verbal meaning. So we can take it as to mean, I am prostrating you. My salutations unto you, O Vyasa. We have seen in the last shloka that the term Vyasa means one who has edited the Vedas. The editor of Vedas. That is Vyasa. A Vyasa. A great editor of Vedas. Te Namaha, unto you my salutations. My prostrations. And again we are calling Vyasa by the name Vishala Buddhe. O Vishala Buddhe. One of limitless intelligence, unlimited intelligence. We cannot measure. We cannot measure the intelligence of Vedavyasa. Nobody can measure that wisdom. Who has edited the Vedas and written the Mahabharata. Mahabharata is the greatest and biggest work. Not only in size, but in their contents. Who can proclaim with any doubt that whatever written here you can see somewhere else, but what is not here you will not see in the world. Yadi hasti taditaratra, yanne hasti na tat kochit. What you can see in this Mahabharata, you can see somewhere else also. But what is not written in Mahabharata, that you will not see in the world. So without any doubt, Vyasa has proclaimed that much subjects, innumerable topics under various branches of knowledge are explained there in Mahabharata. Whatever be the branch of knowledge, we can find a place in Mahabharata. Well placed. Many are thinking it is a story of a battle between Dhartarashtra's and Pandavas. No. No. We can see illustrations of different branches of knowledge. And therefore, Mahabharata is called the fifth Veda. Mahabharatam Nama Panjamo Veda Uchyate. So says Vyasa himself. This is the fifth Veda. So, author of Mahabharata and author of 18 Mahapuranas. See, in total more than 800,000 verses. Just imagine. And there are some other works also attributed to Bhagavan Vedavyasa. So the author of this much voluminous works, having that much depth and that much height, how we can refer to him? So simply it is said, Vishala Buddhe, of limitless intelligence. O Bhagavan Vedavyasa, I am saluting. Let my prostrations be accepted. Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe, Bhullara Vindayata Patra Netra. One whose eyes are resembling fully bloomed lotus petals. Fully bloomed lotus petals. That much beautiful eyes in the verbal sense. And the inner meaning is, or implied meaning is, whose eyes or whose senses never attach with anything, just like the petal of lotus. You pour water on it, just like a pearl or a bubble, it will stay there. But the petal will not be tainted by that. Just like Vyasa knows everything, Vyasa observes everything. There is nothing unknown to him. Let it be Kama Shastra, Artha Shastra, Dharma Shastra, or Moksha Shastra. Nothing is unknown to him. But he will not be tainted. He is not at all attached. So these two meanings we can take. I have seen many pictures saying those are the pictures of Vedavyasa. An old man with the two eyes without any light, without any luster, as if they are in two deep wells. No, that is not the form of Vyasa depicted here. It is with lotus, fully bloomed lotus petals. Those are the eyes of Bhagavan Vedavyasa. That much beautiful eyes, lustrous eyes, not deep wells. Namostute Vyasa Vishal Buddhe Bhullarvindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharada Taila Purnaha Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha. By whom? Jnanamaya Pradipaha Prajwalitaha. By whom? Jnanamaya Pradipaha. Pradipaha is lamp or light. What is that light? Jnanamaya, light of wisdom. The light of wisdom or lamp of wisdom was lighted by whom? Vedavyasa has lighted the lamp of wisdom, the light of wisdom. And in that light, in that lamp, there is full of oil. So oil is burning. It is emitting light around. And what is that oil? Bharada Taila Purnaha, Bharada Tailaha. The oil is Mahabharata. See, here we can see the greatness of our wish, the greatness of the vision which Sanatana Dharma is holding. See, Mahabharata is one of the Smriti, and it is the foremost Smriti. which we will consider just after 4 Vedas. So it is that much valid for us. It is that much precious for us. We are relying on Mahabharata, of course, after Vedas, but we are relying on it. But even then, it is said Mahabharata is not the light. Light is the light of wisdom, and Mahabharata is just the oil. No faith-based religion can imagine this. Because there, the highest and greatest will be the text, the religious text, which is revealed by none other than God. Anything and everything written in that. That is the highest. You cannot question that. There is no scope for question. Here, we are respecting Mahabharata. We will do puja for Mahabharata. But at the same time, we know in our heart that Mahabharata is not the highest. The highest is the knowledge which it is giving. Text is not the highest. The highest is the knowledge that Mahabharata is giving. So here it is said, Mahabharata is the oil. See, we are filling the lamp with oil, and we will put wicks in that, and we will burn that wicks. Then through that wicks, oil is burning. Oil will burn and burn. And finally it will vanish. So that is not important. What is important is the knowledge which is being emitted by that. That is important. This is the greatest view of Sanatana Dharma. This is the greatest view of Sanatana. See? Here the author could have referred Mahabharata as the light itself. But he didn't. Instead of doing that, Mahabharata is referred to as the oil, and what has been lighted by Vedavyasa? The light of wisdom. So to give this light of wisdom to the whole world, for that Mahabharata is done. This is not the case of Mahabharata. This is the case of Ramayana. This is the case of Ashtadasha Mahapurana. This is the case of even Vedas. So the highest is the knowledge, not any text. Many texts will manifest, and in course of time will disappear. But the knowledge that is surviving, that will survive, and that knowledge will sustain the world. This is our mission. So I am prostrating in front of Bhagavan Vedavyasa, who has lighted the lamp of wisdom, which is filled with the oil of Mahabharata. I am prostrating in front of Bhagavan Vedavyasa, whose eyes are just like fully bloomed lotus petals, and who is of unlimited intelligence. So this is the second shloka. Now we can go to the third shloka. There we are saluting Bhagavan Sri Krishna. How? Prapanna parijataya totra vetraika panaye jnana mudraya krishnaya Gita amrita duhe namaha. Prapanna parijataya totra vetraika panaye jnana mudraya krishnaya Gita amrita duhe namaha. Prapanna parijataya. That is one word. We cannot break in between. Totra vetraika panaye. That is one word. We cannot break. Jnana mudraya Krishnaya Gitamrita duhe namaha. Krishnaya namaha. That is the main sentence there. Krishnaya namaha. Namaha, prostrations or salutations. To whom? Krishnaya, unto Krishna. Unto Krishna. Krishnaya namaha. And to whom? Prapanna parijataya. Parijata is a celestial tree. I have not seen that. Just like Airavata, the celestial elephant, Uchchaishravas, the celestial horse, Kamadhenu, the celestial cow, just like that. It is believed there is a tree in the celestial world, in the worlds of Devatas. That is Parijat. In our earth also, here also we have Parijatam. That is another tree. That is not referred here. So here what is referred is the celestial tree. And it is believed that somebody is sitting under that. praying anything, he will get those prayers. So it is a tree that will give all boons to those who are approaching that tree, sitting under that tree. And here, Bhagavan is referred to as Parijata, that celestial tree. For whom? For Prapannas. Prapanna means fully surrendered one. One who has fully surrendered. Fullest surrender. Without a partition of ego. Where that fullest surrender is there, he is called Prapanna. For them, Bhagavan is just like Parijata. He will give everything. During prayers and while reciting some hymns, chanting stotras, we will repeat, I have surrendered fully, O Bhagavan, O Lord. I have surrendered fully, please help me. There itself is a contradiction. If you have surrendered fully, why you are asking for help? The simple fact that you are asking for help shows you do not have fullest surrender. But in stotras, we can see that. I have surrendered fully, please give me this, that. It is not surrender. Surrender is surrender. There is no ego split. There is no walls of egoism or egotism. Nothing is separating me from the surrender. Thy will be done. That is the mentality of the fully surrendered one. So for them, Bhagavan is just like Parijata. Prapanna Parijata. Prapannanam Parijata. Bhagavan also says in the Gita, Tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. For those who are fully surrendered, those who are always living with me and within me, for them I will look after everything. I will look after them. That is a guarantee card, open guarantee card given by Bhagavan in the Bhagavad Gita. So for those who have surrendered, Bhagavan is just like Parijata, distributing all they want. He will lead as if a mother or a father leading their child. He will hold our hands and he will lead to through all situations in this life. We can cross all hurdles if that surrender is there. So prapanna parijataha. Unto him I am saluting. Prapanna parijataya Krishnaya namaha. And there are other salutations also that we can discuss in our next satsang. So those who want to ask, then you can ask. If I know the reply.
Swamiji, the question is from Ajay ji. You can unmute yourself. You're on still mute.
Yes. Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste.
Swamiji, there is a lot of discussions and discourses are happening in the society regarding upon the Upanishads and other texts. But there is only very few discussions which is has been done in the public, which is directly related to the Vedas. My question is, why is it so? Because most of the students who are studying the scriptures like Upanishads or Bhagavad Gita, even they are also ignorant about the content of the direct Vedas, like Rig Veda, Samaveda. So why the Vedas are not publicly discussed or discussed? That's my question.
See, when we are seeing a person, we are seeing him fully. We are seeing his hands and the legs, his stomach and chest, all his body parts. But we will focus on his face. We will look straightly into his eyes. Or we must do that. We will see him as a whole. There is no doubt in that. But our focus will be on his face. That is head. So we can say. Of course, we must know about him. All the parts we have to learn. There is no doubt in that. But this is true. See, Upanishads or Vedanta are integral parts of Veda. We must not misunderstand. Upanishads are some other works outside Veda. Veda is something else and Upanishads different from Veda. No. Samhita, Brahmana, and Upanishads. And of course, there are Aranyakas also. But mostly Aranyakas are like appendices to Brahmanas. So, all these are Vedas or parts of Vedas. In many lectures, I have heard Vedas and Upanishads. No. Upanishads are integral part of Veda. And that is the Vedanta, the end of Veda. Now, coming to your question, we must study Samhitas, we must study Brahmanas, we must study Upanishads. All this together makes Veda. In the Samhita, there are many hymns in praise of different devatas, beginning with Agni, Vayu, Rudra, Vishnu, Toshta, Garuda, many devatas, Marudgana, Ashwini Kumaras, Surya, many devatas are praised. And of course, in between such mantras or suktas, great revelations, great pieces of knowledge or wisdom also we will get. And in the Brahmana portion, main subject matter is the performance of different types of yagas. Of course, there also we can see praises. And of course, within Brahmana, there are many expositions of highest philosophies, darshanas. But Upanishads are those parts which are set apart for discussion on the highest knowledge alone. There is no other subject. So that is most famous or widely studied in the world. At the same time, we are studying Samhitas. Those who are studying Veda seriously, of course, they will go to Samhita also. But as this is the knowledge portion, those with thirst for knowledge, who are in quest of the highest knowledge, they will approach Vedanta. That is one answer. The second answer is, there are many scholars who are teaching Samhitas. Many scholars are there. And students will go to them, or they will go to the students. Both ways it is happening. And they are spreading Samhita. But comparatively, their number is lesser. Those who are well versed in Samhitas and Brahmanas, they will go for performing yagas. Because of many things. Physical expectations, fiscal benefits, many things. And only a few great scholars are teaching Samhita and Brahmana. Whereas after Shankaracharya, there are thousands of sannyasis all over the world, spreading the Vedic law. And of course, they will teach Upanishads. Sannyasins, they may teach in the inner circle samhitas, but that is not their main subject. It is Vedanta. Sannyasins have renounced the karma kanda. So, without looking for any physical benefit, out of love and compassion, scholars who are well versed in Upanishads, they will go around the world and teach. And because of this tradition, the spread of Upanishads is far higher than that of Samhita. And the style of Samhita is more difficult or abstruse, whereas the style of Upanishads are more lucid and easy. So that also is another factor. So many aspects are there. But we must understand, even now there are many scholars who are teaching Samhitas. But it is not as much spread as the Upanishads. Reasons are many. These are a few reasons. Namaste. But we must understand that Upanishads are integral part of Vedas. We cannot divide. We cannot say Vedas and Upanishads. It will be just like I've seen many people standing there and their heads also. If I am seeing a person, I am seeing his head. I must not differentiate. I need not differentiate. Namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste, Swamiji. The next question is Kamalaji.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste.
Swamiji, whether Bhagavad Gita is it correct to say whether Bhagavad Gita gives us jnana karma samuchaya?
We can say, as Gita is a text of integral yoga, and there is clearly a synthesis of yoga. There are teachings of the highest knowledge abreast with the teachings of karma, teachings of other systems of yoga. But we cannot use the term jnana karma samuchaya. That is impossible. Jnana karma samuchaya is impossible. This is the main teaching of Bhagavan Bhashyakara Shankaracharya. especially in the Gita Bhashya. This is the main teaching. Because samuchaya means making together. So jnana karma samuchaya vada is that opinion. It's an opinion. And that opinion was put forth by Puramimamsakas. And that is, we must not renounce our karmas, especially nitya karmas. We must not renounce. And karma must be performed along with jnana. So have the highest jnana and do nitya karma. In no way you have the right to renounce karma. So there is no such a thing as sannyasa. That is the jnana karma samuchaya. If you are that much eager to have knowledge, have that. I have no problem. But don't renounce karma. Perform karma diligently. So you can do both together. This is jnana karma samuchaya. Then Bhagavan Bhashyakara Shankaracharya asked a simple question. How we are doing karma? We are doing karma with many expectations. I am doing this for that, for getting heaven, for getting this and that. For many, many benefits, I am doing this. Number one. Two, I must have the ego consciousness and I must consider myself as fit to do this karma. I am competent enough to do this karma. How? I belong to such and such varna, and my body constitution is having no abnormality at all. And I am fit to do karma. Three, I am living in this age, at this particular place. So, in the field of karma, I am always considering myself as this body, mind, intellect complex. And I am having always such expectations with which I am doing such karma. And what is jnana? Jnana is the fullest cessation of this ego consciousness. It is negation of time and space, or all superimpositions based on time and space. And there is no expectation. If we are praying for some benefit, jnana is not there. If jnana is there, such prayer won't come. Both will not go together. So, those who can or those who are performing this, they are entirely different. One is looking westward and the other eastward. Their vision is entirely different. Their view of life, how they are considering themselves, all are entirely different. So both cannot be done together. But in the life of one person, we can have both. There is no question. There is no contradiction. There is no conflict at all. But both these cannot be performed simultaneously. This is the darshana explained by Bhagavan Bhashyakara. And that is the view of Bhagavad Gita also. That is why Bhagavan says, Lokesmin dividha nishtha puja prokta maya nagha. O sinless one, I have taught to the world two paths. One the path of karma and the other the path of renunciation and knowledge. Then comes a question. Yes, I understood. But what about karma yoga? Karma and jnana will not go together. That I understood. That I can accept. But why not karma yoga and jnana? There is conflict. Because karma yoga, we are performing karma yoga to have purity of mind, sharpness of intellect. It's also a sadhana. Just like doing shravana, manana, nididhyasana, all these are sadhanas. The same way karma yoga also is a sadhana. It's a practice. Whereas jnana is that state of steadfastness in wisdom. That is not a path. That is not the quest. So both are different. That is why Bhagavan in the Bhagavad Gita itself proclaims Esha te vihita sankhye buddhir yogeti mam shrunu. O Arjuna, I have explained to you things about the highest wisdom. Now I am going to explain what is yoga. So these are two subjects. Otherwise, Bhagavan will not teach like that. So there is no scope for jnana karma samuchaya vada in the Bhagavad Gita. And before common logic also, that won't stand. Because our interests are different. Our priorities are entirely different, opposites. So you cannot accept sannyasa diksha and marry simultaneously. You can marry today and accept sannyasa tomorrow. Or you can accept sannyasa today and marry tomorrow. Both are acceptable. But simultaneously we cannot do both. So there is no question of jnana karma samuchaya. But still, even after all these argumentations, even after all these conclusions by Bhagavan Bhashyakara and thousands of acharyas after Bhagavan Bhashyakara, even now there are many scholars who are arguing for jnana karma samuchaya. Of course, they have the right to do that. We are respecting them also, because in our opinion, all levels of knowledge must be there. Dvaita must flourish. Vishishta Dvaita must flourish. Advaita must flourish. Jnana karma samuchaya vada, it must flourish. There must be debates. There must be debates. There must be difference of opinions. There must be. Then only all strata of our people can stick on to those spots which are suitable or acceptable for them. So for that, it's welcome. So these arguments are still going on. It must go on. That is the beauty of our darshana. So during Vadas, Vedarthas, Vakyarthas, all these scholars will sit together and with all love, care and mutual respect will fight. And after fight, with the same respect, they will go back. And those who are attending that Vakyarthas, their intellect will be sharpened. So one who is seeing this vision as suitable, he can accept that. But another who is thinking this is acceptable, he can go there. That freedom is here. But as per our knowledge and conviction, there is no scope for jnana karma samuchaya in Bhagavad Gita or in Upanishads. And basically that cannot be, because both are entirely different. Yes, that is the answer. Namaste. I think now we can conclude. Now, Babuji is asking something.
Babuji has a question. Probably we can save it for
Yeah.
next
Namaste.
week.
Please, you.
1 second. 1 second. Unmute.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste, namaste, namaste.
If there is shortage of time, I can ask my question next week, actually.
No, you can ask.
Okay, my question, Swamiji, is related to the first question that Ajayji had asked. Now, we talk about the Shruti, the Vedas. It's supposed to have been heard directly from the Lord, from Brahman. And I know it is not acknowledged to have been received by anybody. Now, how do we know that the sages who got that, that foresight, that knowledge, were not influenced by their own opinions?
See, Shruti or Veda is basically knowledge. It is the highest wisdom. It is the highest knowledge. Rishis discovered that. They realized that. That is why we are calling them Rishis. That is Rishayo Mantra Drashtaraha. They have seen the mantras, the seers of mantra. Here is the question: how we can say that their influences are not there? How we can say in their teachings? In their teaching, there will be their ideas, but what is their idea? What is their convictions? What is their thought? It is not different from the highest. Yataha tadiyaha. Because they are that. In the Shruti, it is said, Sayo havai tat paramam brahma veda brahmaiva bhavati. One who has realized the Brahman is invariably Brahman himself. So there is no difference. When we are keeping or we are storing some materials in some vessels, say for example, a copper vessel. If we are storing water for some days, we will feel the influence of that copper. In the same way that of iron. But in a pure vessel made of glass, that water will be as pure as that was 2-3 days back. In the same way, there is no separate ego. There is no limited thoughts. There is no separate individuality or what we can call personality. No. That differentiation of the individual and the macrocosm. That is not there in those of realization. But at the same time, we must understand that by the term Rishi and by the term Veda or mantra, there are different levels of knowledge. What we are speaking or what we have so far spoken is connected with the highest knowledge. But Veda is not connected with the highest knowledge alone. There is the Samhita portion, there is the Brahmana portion, there is the Aranyaka portion connected with upasanas, connected with the karmas. And of course, as a part of Veda, there are different branches of knowledge. Kama Shastra is there, Dharma Shastra is there, Artha Shastra is there, and Moksha Shastra, of course, is there. So, those rishis who taught unto the world, or those who transferred their inner wisdom and knowledge to the world, they uttered through their words. So that knowledge came from them. Of course, that will have their influences. That is why there are differences of opinion among rishis themselves. How to perform a particular yajna. According to one rishi, it will be different from that taught by another rishi. Then what we have to do? There will be Vidvat Sabha. There will be a sitting of scholars and they will debate and they will reach at a consensus and that will be accepted. So that is there. We cannot say all the rishis were just like the crystal clear glass vessels. No. Rishis were also having lust, anger, jealousy, and many, many drawbacks. But in particular fields, they were experts and they were considered as rishis. But in another fields, they were not that much full. So difference of opinions were there. And where there are differences of opinion among rishis, their debate must happen. That is why it is well explained by Bhagavan Vedavyasa himself. Naiko rishiryasya vacha pramanam. There is no such a rishi who can claim fullest authority. If one rishi is teaching something, another rishi will teach it in another stream. So that is there. But those are regarding aparavidya. But regarding paravidya, there is nothing to be added, nothing to be influenced. No superimpositions. This is a topic we have to discuss more, but this is the central theme of that. I think it is clear.
Yeah, thank you, Swamiji.
Namaste. Namaste. So now we can continue. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhaved. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.